keep them on there, Joe.
So this is a hoop trap. It's a passive trap. So basically, animals will accumulate over time. So the thing with passive traps is, in terms of sampling effort, it's really intensive. You need to check these traps every day to make sure you're not killing any animals via bycatch. And basically what it is really just a funnel trap. So the entrance is here, and we have two lines that just go all the way to the back of the trap. And so how it works is an animal goes in, and in the back of the trap here we have a PVC pipe perforated with a bunch of fish to lure the animal in. And then the animal's attracted towards the back of the trap, trying to get at the bait. And when it tries to get back out, instead of being able to go through the entrance, it basically gets caught in here and held up in here. And so we tie both ends. We tie the back end and the front end using T-posts or cinder blocks to basically keep it tight. And then we just check it each day and replace the bait each day because we're targeting alligator snapping turtles and they like fresh fish. That's a hoop trap.
Okay.
Yep.
There's a mud turtle.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
It's a razorback.
Cool.
Did you just pull that out of the water with him on it? Razorback musk turtle. Do you have the bike? Go up there. Help David.
Oh yeah! Alligator snapping turtle. Woo!
I need someone to help me with the cinder block.
Okay, I got this. You got this stuff.
Oh, that's a...
Two
Oh!
of them. Okay.
Two?
I'll help out and untie the back. Try not to fall this.
I'm backing it up. Just,
Backing up?
well, just,
Gotta do jump.
he's grabbing the big guy. He's going to lift him up on him.
Go on, go backwards a little bit.
Yep, yep.
Alright, that's good.
Here comes the little one. You might be the smallest one we got yet.
Hey.
Sweet!
Well, electroshock keys to it.
Let's do it. Okay. Now it'll just be more.
Curl his toes. These guys smell like red commons. Oh gosh. Okay, so right now I'm scrubbing the carapace to see how many super marginal scutes there are, which are these tiny scales at the edge of the carapace here, and the number of super marginals varies, and I want to see if that's by river drainage, because it hasn't been well studied. So starting up here, this is A. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. And we're going to mark this one I, J, K. Is that right?
Yes.
I, J, K?
Yes.
And then on the turtle's left side, it starts from in. So in, O, P.
So there's a couple things that, like, you never mark these scutes here because basically it's where the two kind of fuse together. The carapace and the plastron fuse together, so you never mark those. And you can just use a regular file to basically just make a notch, and it doesn't hurt the turtle, and it's permanent. So it's a cheap, easy way to mark turtles permanently. Or the other thing you can do, like for these that are kind of flared out, you could use a drill and basically drill right into the shell.
Alright, so I'm going to start right here.
You want up on the table?
Yeah, it's probably easier to just go into the dirt right here. Scoot them out a little bit. Alright, that's about good.
Oh yeah.
So the underside of the shell is the plastron. So you can take a series of, basically we're going to take a series of morphological measurements so you can make inferences on things like population structure and just general morphological traits.
So on the younger ones like this, their growth rings are often visible on their scutes.
So it's just like counting tree rings.
And there's a lot of people think you can judge turtles' age from the number of rings, but it's shown not to really be an effective way, but there might be a correlation between number of rings and size in juveniles. So I'm hoping to see if there's a strong relationship there. And I actually am not seeing any annuli on this individual, on this set of scales. Do you see any from your angle, John?
No, I don't see any at all, actually.
Yeah, it's smooth.
You want to take photos of that?
No, it's alright. Not of the scute, but I do want to take photos of the plastron.
We're doing that just on your phone, right? Make it easier.
Got it right here. So we can... Is there anything in particular you want to get?
Yeah, the whole turtle, like including the tail. It's almost like it's playing dead right now.
Alright, so what measurements are you taking?
So this is the maximum plastron length, and we have 21.1 centimeters.
Maximum plastron
Length,
straight 21.
0.1 centimeters. And we also take maximum plastron length, so maximum and midline, on other turtle species, but in alligator snapping turtles that measurement's the same because the midline projects the farthest forward and backwards. And you'll see on when we work up the other turtle, the razorback, they have projections right here that make the midline length different than the maximum. And will you hand me the curved? I'm going to try and get the tail measurement. So this next measurement is, will you move your glove a little bit out to the plastron, is the pre-cloacal tail length. And the ratio between the total tail length and the length from the end of the plastron to the cloaca, it's a good way of quantifying the sex of the turtle. But on small individuals, it's hard to sex them. So this is right at 6 centimeters. 6.0.
6 centimeters for
Pre-cloacal.
pre-cloacal. Okay.
And then
Total. Can you hold it?
yeah. So that is 25.5 centimeters for total tail length. So now I'm going to take tissue samples for analyzing mercury concentrations. And I'm going to take a biopsy punch of skin right here from the tail. And then after that, I'll take a small biopsy of muscle just underneath that. And this is the smallest turtle we've had to do this from, so
Should be the easiest, right?
we'll see.
The older they get, their skin just seems to get so much thicker.
Do you want to hold the front and I can hold the back? Is that better?
Well,
Okay.
he shouldn't be able to grab you. Yeah, just keep him from flipping over, Dr.
You want the full turtle name on this, Cranial?
Yes.
Okay.
Turtle ID.
They're very
If
aquatic,
possible.
so this may
I
be
have a
some of their
small
first
Sharpie
time
here,
ever
that'll
coming
be
out of the
easier.
water since they were hatchlings.
Yeah.
Especially if they're males. So, keep that away from me, Daksha.
So there's a skin biopsy right there. Can I have forceps? Will you get the tweezers out of there for me?
There's no skin.
I know. Will you get the...
Oh, sorry.
And if you'll disinfect it real quick.
Just watching everything we're doing right now.
He knows what's coming.
Like, what the hell's happening? I
Poor
don't.
guy, look at his.
I know, he really did
Also,
get a number.
Will you clean the other ones? Because they'll be easier for the muscle. But first, let me...
Well, you got a lot
So
there.
there's a skin with a little bit of muscle. So the skin samples can potentially be used for future studies with genetic analyses.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Breathe through the pain. Is that a smaller one?
Yeah. This is my first time using this one, but this is how
Luke?
people who, not Luke, but this researcher up in New York has used this on commons.
That works pretty well.
Well, I'm about to find out.
It looks like that chunk is kind of getting hung up. You may
Yeah.
want to pull it out with the tweezers.
Tweezer's right there on top.
There we go. So there's more.
Skin?
No, more muscle than this that I have in my hands. Is that the muscle too?
This will be, yeah. Not the skin here and tweezers.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Almost there. I'm just gonna try. Thank you. There we go. That's almost over.
And better do you, right? Do you have the spots over there?
Then we gotta take the toe to the nail clipping.
All right, there we go. And after that, I'll disinfect it with iodine.
Now I use
Next
toe
up,
clipping.
toe clipping.
Oh man, you got the industrial ones now? Duck shot, you might hold it in hand.
So I'm also going to take keratin samples from the claw and the hind part of the carapace for mercury analysis as well.
Yeah, watch, it can fly at you.
That was easy.
Yeah, I'm glad I got these. It's made out of bone, but there's a layer of keratin over it, and this hind scute right here is a lot more spongy than other parts of the shell, especially in younger individuals, so it's easier to scrape a little bit of the keratin off.
So what are the muscle versus keratin? What will it tell you?
Well, there's a researcher out of TCU who's shown a really strong positive correlation between keratin and muscle concentrations. So I'd like to get these analyzed to see if that holds true for alligator snapping turtles. And if it does, that could be a potentially easy, minimally invasive way of getting a proxy for muscle tissue concentrations down the line for other studies.
That's really good. Swapping biopsy punch way with me. Oh, that's
There we go.
that's more than enough.
So now I'm taking different measurements of the carapace. This is 31.8 centimeters for maximum carapace length.
31.8.
And these measurements can be analyzed in relationship to mercury concentrations to see if there's a relationship between size and age and mercury, to see if they're accumulating it.
So basically, the older
Midline?
the individual, the more mercury would bioaccumulate over time.
28.7 for midline carapace length.
7. Okay. And then max width. And which marginal it's measured from.
This will be from H.
Okay.
Watch it ethanol, John, like we don't want it.
Getting in there.
So max carapace width is 25.0 centimeters.
25.0. Okay. And then the curve.
Get the body depth.
Body
Not yet.
depth we still need. Body depth and cranial.
So max is 34.6.
34.6.
Midline is 34.2.
2. And width. From H. Okay.
Yep, same one. $37.7.
37.7. Okay, so we need cranial measurement.
And body depth.
And mass, right?
What comes first?
Body depth.
You probably need to move your hands. Can you lift it up a little bit more?
And what scute it's measured from.
Really where the dirt comes off. 11.8 centimeters from V2. And we're almost up. 8.4 centimeters.
Is it again?
Yeah. It's probably like
Push down on its head a little bit.
I think
Just lightly.
8.3 centimeters.
8.3 max width.
And I'll pick up the front end a little bit. And see if it'll a little bit more. Sometimes they'll stick their snout out farther. These little ones are hard. There we go. 11.7 for anal length.
Okay, we need weight.
Right.
When you got the torque.
Brought the scale for the little guys.
Did you determine sex?
No.
Get your own scale, bud. Don't you feel special?
Goes in that box.
Okay, the tarp adds 1 kilogram. Alright, probably just throw him in there on his back so he doesn't push it a little bit forward. Alright, 7 kilograms, so that would be 6.0 kilograms.
We gotta do the musk turtle here, right?
Yeah, 4.